Hi everyone, my name is Eli Quirk and I'm a Student Development Officer here at Cape Breton University. I'm also a part of the Success Coaching team at the Advising and Student Success Center. I want to chat a bit with you today about our time and task management and how we do that. So, this quick workshop is going to be an overview, and there will also be handouts provided. You can also follow the recorded slideshow that's attached to our Stay Smart Moodle. So first things first, we're going to be talking about strategies on how to manage your time, what roles we have, and how to make sure that we're giving enough space for each of those. We're going to identify our goals throughout the semester, and also talk about how we plan for a semester, a week, and how we prioritize our day. We're also going to look into things such as backwards planning. We'll talk briefly on assignment calculators, and we'll just share a few apps and tools for time and task management. We also want to touch briefly on motivation and what keeps you motivated and the Pomodoro technique. So, when you're trying to manage your time, one of the good things that you can start doing is really setting goals or setting intentions before you start. Arrange your activities according to your own goals. So, if you really have, if you kind of go into it being like, oh, I might get something done today, uh, chances are you might not be able to if you don't make that goal a little bit more specific. Prepare as well, write down that plan even the morning of or the day before, whenever you feel the most energized and ready to take that on. Set your priorities, making sure to put those important tasks first, even though they might be some of the hardest. It might be good to start with something like finally sending out that email to a professor that you've been waiting on. Making sure to stay organized as well. So, using a calendar, creating checklists like our Microsoft To Do, which you can find some information on how to use Microsoft To Do through our State Smart Moodle um, to make sure that you have reminders and you're on top of all of your obligations and things that are coming up. Also, eliminate distractions. So make sure to put that phone maybe on Do Not Disturb. If you're in a shared space, just closing your door, turning on the TV, off the TV, and just giving yourself that opportunity to really focus in on what you need to do can be really helpful. So you also want to start simplifying some of those harder tasks. So things like a big project might seem like a big task if you have to write, say, a 10-page paper. But if you break that down into, okay, this day I'm going to do my research, this day I'm going to work on my first draft, it can help you to really simplify that and feel better about completing that task, giving yourself specific deadlines instead of having that one deadline at 2 a.m. the day before it's due. Learn to say no. Use opportunities to really set your boundaries and say, okay, I'm sorry, I can't do this today. I need to prioritize my work, or maybe I can't work on this study group today because I want to connect with my friend group and I'm already caught up in class. Learning to say no doesn't just have to be about declining all social activity. You want to make sure you're giving yourself some balance. Also, rewarding yourself, like I said, with that social activity. Or another strategy is giving yourself some scheduled time, like a one on one appointment with myself, um, and just working together, talking about what your strategies and goals are and what skills we can help build on. So, before we start, we need to think about what our roles are. So, take some time with the handout today. Look at where you want to see some change in the roles that you have. Think about where most of your time goes, and also remember that one of those circles doesn't need to be every one role, all of your energy goes into that. It's about giving yourself that balance. And I think all of us can use a bit more balance for sure. And as we're doing that, we're identifying our goals as well. So, what are our goals? If we're looking at the handout, we see that We have some examples there, but I want you to also write in your own individual goals because that'll help you feel more motivated as the semester continues. We know that this semester or any semester can be really busy, so you want to make sure that you're staying on track and just reaffirming your goals as you go forward. So, backwards planning is used to make sure that you're staying on track right from the get go. So, a semester plan would be used in collaboration with syllabus mapping, which I'll talk about briefly. And then our weekly schedule could be put into our Outlook email calendar, or we could use like a weekly task schedule or a planner. And our daily schedule would hold our top 10 kind of tasks that we want to do for the day. So if we start by knowing when our assignments are due, then we can put in, okay, what are our weekly goals? So we have to be in class, but what else is coming up now that we've done some semester planning? We know what our weekly goals are, and then every day we can navigate. Okay, I need to be in class. That's my top priority. Now, I also make sure I read the next chapter for the next class. So, before we get too far into that, syllabus mapping breaks down each of your courses to help you understand what the expectations are for that particular course. You can break down your course by percentages, and also you can write in the type of project that you have, when the due date is. And this is also really great to track your progress because you can see when the grade, when you receive a grade, you can put in grades received in that column there. And that can help you as you're going through, say you're halfway through the semester. As we're going through the semester lately, we know it can go by a little quickly. So you can take a look at, okay, now that I've completed half of the course, what are my grades like? Where do I need support? Do I need to connect with the Math and Science Center? Do I need to connect with the Writing Center? Do I need to attend a workshop, or do I need to reach out to my professor for support? So syllabus mapping can really set you up for success. So when you're setting this parameters up for your semester plan, I do encourage you to think about using different tools that you can access. So one of the tools that's really important is our Outlook 365 email, and it might seem interesting that email would be helpful, but within there you can access so many different support. So things like your Outlook calendar, you can go in and put in your class schedule. You can add in times when you want to study. You can give yourself blocks for self care, for laundry. You can pull all of your calendar tasks into one, but maybe some of them would be your semester plan. So, like the syllabus mapping. And then other ones would be in your weekly plan, like making sure to stay on track with assignments or complete those tasks in our house or in our lives that we need to do, like booking an appointment or taking our dog for a walk or something like that. So it's all about using the services and things here that can help you to plan out your semester and then, as I said, move forward into the weekly and daily plan. So once we do that and we have that daily schedule, that top 10, what we need to check off, and that's going to change every day. That's something that maybe doesn't might not necessarily have to go into our calendar, but it can be through Microsoft To Do. So again, I encourage you to use that resource. I also want to chat a bit about the Pomodoro technique, and there is a link to this as well through our Stay Smart Moodle. And what this is, it helps you to focus because we're going to choose a task when we use the Pomodoro technique. Maybe it's to read a chapter of our textbook. We take 20 minutes or 25 minutes to really work on reading that textbook, understanding the material, making notes, highlighting sections, and then we take a 5-minute short break. We repeat this cycle maybe 3 to 4 times, and then we take a longer break. So this just helps us maybe with more complex or complicated content, or maybe stuff that might be not as interesting for us, to have that focus time to be able to really get through that in the time that we need, instead of potentially procrastinating the day because we've tried to avoid this task that may have felt at the time too difficult to complete. So this breaks down a task and also gives you a cutoff time. So saying, okay, it usually takes me an hour to read a chapter of my textbook or to read a certain section. If you're finding you're struggling and staying a little bit longer, using the Pomodoro technique can help you to really focus on that chapter and get through it. Another great thing is thinking about when we're taking those breaks, how do we reward ourselves? So we need to think about what our motivation is, what our focus is. So it could be giving ourselves a 5 minute break to go have our favorite snack, or send a funny story to a friend, or maybe it's just to update our goal list. So maybe what are our goals for the weekend? Um, Giving yourself that 5 minute time frame to really enjoy that break can help refresh our brains. And then after we've done that Pomodoro technique, we've done those cycles, we've been studying for a few hours, then maybe we get to watch our favorite TV show, or we get to spend time with a friend, or we take an evening to do something fun, or even a few hours just to step away from our work and have that balance. So, what I want you to remember as we're going through any of these workshops and as we're working together, that any new skill doesn't happen right away. It's not an overnight fix. This is something that we're constantly working on and working towards, is being a successful student and making sure that we're keeping that balance and taking care of ourselves, as well as working to the best of our ability with our studies. So do what works best for you, whatever that is, and whenever that may work. Sometimes we use certain apps, or we use the Pomodoro technique and it works really effectively. And sometimes, other times, we may be more distracted, or we need a different tool, or a different technique to be able to approach our studies and feel effective. Time management can really help to improve your stress level, help keep you organized, and really motivate you to be able to complete your studies. Effective time management requires ongoing practice and work. So it's just like any sort of muscle. So if you're exercising and you just try and lift, say, way too much weight, or before you even start, or you join a class that's for advanced participants, and this is your first day, uh, you can't just leap right in and try every technique. It's about working through and figuring out what techniques work best for you, um, and just gradually making those changes. It can't happen all at once, but it certainly can happen. Time management can really end up lifting your spirits when you're feeling stressed, and even help you bounce back from, if you're having a hard morning, to be able to have a productive or beneficial afternoon for yourself. And I do encourage you all to ask for help whenever you need it, and to connect with us here at the Advising and Student Success Center. So we are located on Cape Breton University's campus, inside the Marvin Harvey building, in the Learning Commons. You can find us there, or if you want more information, or you need to book an appointment, you can visit the Academic Success Coaching page, and the link is provided there. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing some of you in the office soon. Take care.